DJ Zinc and you're watching Drum and Bass Arena Television. Here we are in my rehearsal studio. This is where I get all my dance moves ready for the weekend.
When did you first get into dance music?
Well, first got into dance music in '88 with the acid house thing. But before then I've been listening to hip hop. In '88 I started buying records a lot, but I only had one turntable. It was like on a tower, like, you know, like my mum's one. And then I used to partner with a geezer called Swift, not the big one, a little Swift. He got a pair of the decks like they have in the pubs where they ain't got no pitch, but they got you turn up the volume like that. Well, you could only mix tunes what was the same speed, which was a bit naff, but that was when I started DJing. Back then, my inspirations were mainly probably. I used to listen to the Pirates a lot. It's like Centerfalls. That was sort of Centerfalls days. DJ wise, I mean, I used to take the DJs off the radio. There was a geezer called Eclipse. Hype used to be on Pirate. Load of people.
What were the first rides
That you played at?
that you played at?
Wicked. First raves I played at a couple like that were just my mates where they had brought me in. But the first ones where I actually got booked was for Desire, and that was through Rage. Rage used to MC at Desire, and I grew up in the same area as Rage, so started off doing the after parties, and then he booked us to do the warm-ups. So that was the first rave that I played at. Started producing in, I think, '92. I was on a pirate radio station, and there was a geezer called Busy B on the same pirate. Easy Busy, by the way, big up. He said, if you want to come into the studio, give me a lift to Tasco's warehouse. So, because he wanted to give out some promos, but he didn't have a car. So he said, if you drive me to Tasco's warehouse, I'll let you use the studio for £4 an hour, which is a reasonable rate, you know. So I did that, and the result was Swift and Zinc Volume 1. Who could forget? A lot of people, very easily.
What equipment did you use when you first start producing?
Cool. Wicked then, nice one. To be a DJ, you've got to go out and buy 10 records. To be a producer, you've got to go and buy a fucking great big studio. Nowadays, you can make tunes on a PC or a Mac, but in them days, studios weren't so accessible. So, whereas, you know, being a DJ was a lot easier. When I was DJing, I just wanted to get into a studio and make tunes. I don't know why. I guess I just thought it would be exciting to sit in a room on your own for 12 hours every day. Fucking how many years? 10 years now. What a fool. What a fool. When I first started, I got an Akai S950, an Atari, no, fucking not an Atari, what did I have? An Amiga, and I used to use this program called Optimed. Fucking hell, what a bastard that was. Instead of, with Cubase, you see the blocks on the screen and the bar goes along. With Optimed, it just all came down the screen like like the Matrix or something. It was fucking scary as shit. So I did Super Sharp Shoot on that. What a fucking real cunt of a bit of equipment that was. If I look at it now, it's just like, how on earth did you get that out of that? You know? I guess the first tune that I really sort of noticed the buzz back from was probably Super Sharp Shooter. To be honest, at the time, and you know, for a couple of years, I didn't really realise how many people were liked the tune. It's only now that I meet people that are in all different walks of life for this reason or that, and they're like, oh yeah, I really love that record, and I think, fuck me, how on earth did you hear it? I hooked up with Hype through, I'd see him out and about DJing in clubs. One day I gave him a promo, and then a couple of weeks later I went to his yard and I said, you know, about the promo. He said, yeah, I played it in Germany, the bass is shit. And I was like, okay. He's like, how can you release something with a bass so shit? Like, it's shit. What were you, when you was listening to it, what was you thinking? So I thought, okay, maybe I need to consider my bass lines a bit more. So before that I was more, you know, like I'd go over to Bookham's yard and I was more into the more mellow, stringy sort of stuff. The B-liney kind of tunes just come a bit more natural to me, I suppose. So I'd done Super Sharp Shooter, and it came out in Ganja, and then I did On Fire Tonight. I did 6 Million Ways, that was on Frontline. Yeah, so Hype said to me, start your own label, that's probably the best route to go. So me, Arthur Pascal, started True Players, that was September '96, and it's gone in leaps and bounds ever since. The 3-deck thing is purely, I went to a rave once, I can't remember where it was, and they had 3 decks set up for hype to do scratching, and while I was mixing I thought, fucking let me have a little go at trying, just like put something quite simple over the top of these things. Since then, if there's 3 decks where I go and they're not being speeded up by them bastard techno DJs, then I'll have a go. When I've listened back to the sets where on 3 decks, I think, you know what, you should like, forget about that one in future, bruv, leave it alone. Like, I'm as guilty as anybody as being like fucking addicted to the dub plate thing, and you know, if there's a new dub out there, I'll be phoning the person going, yeah, fucking come on, give me that tune. Last week I cut 5 dub plates, and the week before that I cut 5 or 6 dub plates, you know, which is quite a lot. It's not like, I don't think the dub plate culture is something that is designed to hold people back, but it might do so a little bit, just by the nature of the way it is. You know, I can remember hearing tunes on the radio and wanting to get them, even when they were promos, and I couldn't get promos. And you know, like I'd go into Black Market fucking years ago. I'd go in Black Market and I'd say to Nicky, "Have you got anything?" And he'd give me a handful of records. I'd get them home. Like, half of them was like, oh, you know, I probably wouldn't have chosen to buy them. Thanks, Nick. One thing that I say in defence of that is, or in defence of the way drum and bass is that most of the music is owned by us lot, Groove and Andy and Optical and Ed Rush and me up and Pascal and Ray and, you know, like all of these people, and Ronnie and Crust. Nearly all of the music is owned by us lot and controlled by us lot, and I think that's why the scene is so healthy. Like, if you look around, other scenes around the world are collapsing. I was in Ibiza with a Head Candy lot, and you know, one of their bigger artists, I was talking to him about, you know, on players we sell X amount of an average tune and X amount of a good tune, and they couldn't believe it. They were like fucking, they couldn't believe that we're selling the sort of numbers that we are, and that the raves are as packed out as they are, and it's not in the big magazines. The first thing I done at a different tempo was, my brother plays drums, and so I recorded him doing drums somewhere, and put that, and like made a tune that was, I think, 138 BPM. The tune never got further. I never put it onto that, and I think it was just something I got a CD and I forgot about. And then a little while after that, me and the geezer called MC Daddy done a tune that was 138 BPM. That was on one of the Ganja EPs called This World. And then in '99 as well, I done the Beats by Design EP, and on the end of that, to show a bit of versatility, I did a 138 BPM tune, which was 138 track. When 138 was big, it made me realise that I could do stuff at other tempos and people would listen to it. When I started Bingo, like, the idea all along has been to put all different music on it, and the second release had a drum and bass thing on the B side. There was Fair Fight was on Bingo. I'm looking to do more stuff, but at first it was mainly the breakbeat garage kind of stuff. At the same time as that, I started doing what has ended up being my album. Everybody was really cool. Like, I never heard any negative. Feedback from any drum and bass people. The thing is, I know that when I was younger, if I was 17 or 18 now and I was into drum and bass and somebody done that, I think you cunt. Like, because when I was that age, I was so into this one kind of music that I didn't want to know about anything else. And if somebody that made jungle made a different kind of music, I'd be like, it's betrayal. There was never any pressure for me to DJ breakbeat. There was a lot of offers, and there was a lot of very interesting financial offers to play breakbeat. In the same way I was talking about with drum and bass people, if you make music, it will help you get bookings. There was a lot of people saying, come and play your music. People want to see you playing the music you're making. Really, I think that the music that I've got in my box is probably within, you know, like, quite a high standard, you know, like within the top 20 DJs, say, of drum and bass, you know, and so if I was going to play breaks, I want to be in the top 20 DJs of breaks. I wouldn't want to do it just because somebody's offering me like a, a bit of dough. So I don't want to think, oh yeah, great, and go there and fucking just clang it out and play all shit tunes. How would I describe faster? Well, to me, it sounds like drum and bass got all different tempos. You know, like, except for one or two of the tunes, they've all got break beats, they've all got bass lines, they've all got the elements that I would put into any drum and bass tune. So after I'd done 138 track, I realised I can make different sorts of music. So I started doing a few things that were different again, like 120 BPM, 115, 150. That was more like a hobby, just thinking, I'm making drum and bass, I'm making breakbeat, let me just do a quick fucking weird little one. When I got about 6 or 7 of them done, I put them on a CD to play to the address to my A&R. And I noticed that they were in tempo order. I noticed that I put them in tempo order, and it just sort of struck me, fuck, why don't I fucking do the old thing where it does that? And I really enjoyed doing stuff at all different tempos, because you have to treat the breaks slightly differently and percussion differently and all that when you're at different tempos. I mean, I'm a bit prone. I think like a lot of people, again going back to the thing where if you're young and you're into one music, you're like a purist and that. I think a lot of people are gonna think, oh right, a Zinc album, listen to it, think what the fuck is this cunt on? You know, like they'll think, what is he fucking doing? I think that I'll probably get negative response from a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it was a natural thing. It's not like I thought to myself, right, let me do an album and put it on a major. My main aim is to get it to as many ears as possible, and it seems the best way to do that is for a major. So things happen naturally, so we'll see what happens. Is fast and move away from drum and bass? No, like for me, doing an album is more like just pushing my own boundaries a bit, trying to push myself into doing different stuff. All the time that I've been making that album, I've still been making drum and bass. The last 3 tunes that I've made at the moment are drum and bass. There's a few people, whose musical taste I really admire, and they've been positive about it, and that's been wicked. I hope Fast is going to be the first of many albums. I've really enjoyed making it, and so I imagine I'll do it again, and hope to make music that people that I respect would want to play. So yeah, I've enjoyed doing it, and that answer doesn't really relate to the question. Fucking, there you go.